Well, hello there, everyone. Tonight, we have another very special game with two very special someones.
Oh my God! Okay.
Those very special someones are Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I've secretly been smoking behind this high school, and this very special episode is where my friends confront me about it.
That's right, and Amber.
Hi.
And tonight we're going to be playing The Ground Itself by Everest Pipkin.
Say that name again?
By Everest Pipkin.
Pipkin. Okay.
Pipkin. Yeah. And so this is a continuation of our universe or world building or whatever you want to call it. We've already played Microscope with Dave and Amber and John and Chris, and last time played Life in the Machine with Brother John, and tonight we're going to be playing The Ground Itself, as I said.
Tell us about the game, Josh.
Sure.
Josh,
Well, this is a pretty to the point game. Very fortunate about it, and we can just dive right into it. What if you want to play at home? You would need 2 to 5 players, a deck of cards, a 6-sided die, a coin, a piece of paper, and a writing implement in a few hours. Luckily, we have all those things.
I think Josh is the one who has all those
Yeah, I
things.
don't have
I don't
any.
have anything.
The cards are for the prompts. The dice
Blackjack.
is for for certain mechanics. The coin,
Craps.
yeah, that too. The coin is the safety, but for us tonight, we just throw up the X. We more fall along the lines of X card. I don't know. We play a lot together before, but
We know our boundaries,
Yeah.
maybe.
But if we run into it, we just say, "Hey, this is a problem." Throw up the X and rewind. Probably for you listeners, you won't even notice through the magic of editing.
Woo!
Writing implement if you want to keep track of stuff and time. And luckily for you listeners, or not luckily for you listeners, you have to.
Unluckily for you
Unluckily, you'll need that time as well if you want to follow along. So the first thing though we need to do is we need to figure out our setting.
Oh, yeah.
So what is this? Pretty much, we're observing this space. We're kind of inhabiting this space with the ground itself.
So, question to the table. Since we already have pre-knowledge of we are going to be using this to do world building, do we want to do it specifically on the space colony, or do you want to do it someplace else?
I think doing the space colony would be very interesting because you get to flesh out a lot of the culture and society of, I think, where at least some of these pilots have came from. That will probably be the players, right?
And the side is pretty huge.
Yeah. So if anyone's watched Gundam before, or the traditional Gundam, or a lot of the Gundam series, they're called sides, and they're pretty gigantic. And that's, at least in my head, that kind of volume as well. It's a very, very big space station. It houses millions of people. You know, it is self-sustaining.
Like in one of the Gundam Origins, they had Texas and a side.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's a very good scale to think of. Before, though, we go any further, I wanted to also remind us, it kind of help us guys along and play, like what we've already, some of the yeses and nos that we did in Microscope, because with Brother John for Life in the Machine, it's more of a refresher. Like, these are kinds of general themes we want to maybe touch on or stay away from, right? So the yeses from Microscope were aliens, capitalism, factions, FTL, military, AI, and biological technology. The no's were magic, divine beings, interdimensional travel, time travel, instant transportation, omnipresent computers, and weird sex stuff.
Weird sex stuff?
Weird
are
sex
you kink
stuff.
shaming? Is this what?
No, it's just that nobody wanted to hear Chris's weird stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah, like
Chris was at that table.
don't make a fertility cult on
That's
the
right.
side.
No, don't make mechs bone each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we all agreed we want to play in a space colony of some size and the like. So the next thing we have to figure out is like the timeline, the amount of time we're going to be observing. So I'm just going to read straight from the game.
Yep,
now.
sure.
This game is played in 4 cycles, and each cycle is separated by a gap in time. One player rolls a 6-sided die and records the results. This die will determine the unit of time that this gap is measured in, and this metric stays for the remainder of the game. A 1 means days, which might lend itself to an intimate and close textured story. A 6 means millennia. You are playing a game over thousands of years. What was here may not survive these jumps in recognizable ways. So goes days, weeks, years, decades, centuries, millennia. So do we wish to roll a die or do we want to just pick something?
We should probably pick something.
Because millennia is like way too long.
Yeah,
I would
millennia
agree with
means
that.
yeah.
And probably centuries is too long.
I would like to keep it nearer the smaller.
Like maybe decades.
At the most.
Yeah, decades or years is what I was thinking.
If we do 4 decades, like 4 cycles, that seems pretty reasonable. 40 years, that's like.
But yeah, I mean, like the 08th team was days.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that told a specific kind of story.
Yeah, I think when we play Beam Saber proper is when we get into the days.
More like days.
Yeah. I think for this game in the the Quiet Year, which we'll be playing next, pretty much we're going from like hundreds of years. Now we're down to decades. And we'll be in the ground itself is going to be a year, and then we're going to be into days.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the
Galloping Fingers.
Yes.
Galloping Fingers.
What was the first damn game we played?
Microscope.
That was like more than 100. That was like thousands.
Yeah. So we're reducing the time scale as we play.
Yeah.
Except for Brother John and I just literally took a snapshot in random time of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you two listened to that.
No.
Okay.
We don't listen to our own content. Are you
I don't
kidding
listen
me?
to content.
It's good. So if you don't listen, there'll be a nice surprise when I bring into Beam Saber. Then you'll be like,
Yeah.
what did you guys do?
That's fine.
All right. So yeah, let's go with decades then.
Okay.
Sorry, die. We will, I believe, still need the die later.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. So
Wow, you rolled perfectly the decades.
I think that's years.
Oh.
Right? 4
Sheesh.
decades?
Dave,
forest
no
decades.
No one can know. I just went along with it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so on to the next thing. Establishing our place. Each player is dealt. I already did this preemptively. We take the deck of cards, we put them into faces and numbers. So the ace is a number, and here it's considered a 1. And I've already shuffled the cards. And so each player is dealt cards from the face card stack. You want to do that, Dave? In a circle until no cards are left. Then going in the same circle, each player sets down 1 card at a time and answers a question associated with that card detailed below. They may read the questions first or pick between their cards at random. Keep going until the world feels established or each player is out of cards, whichever happens first. Try to keep this discussion under 25 minutes. Keep your answers to each question very short. You may wish to make brief notes to jog your memory later.
No, absolutely not.
I will try to take some notes.
No way am I going to note anything.
So, Dave, who did you deal to first?
Amber.
Oh, shit. What do I do?
So go ahead and look at your cards.
All of them?
Yeah, and so you can pick.
Oh, wait, all of them?
You can look at all of them, or you go at random. So go ahead. I'm just going to look at all mine, and then check out your prompts.
Oh, I see.
And you get to pick one of them first and tell us what you got, or for the 1 card you're going to go with first, and the prompt, and give us the answer.
Okay, I'll do Jack of Hearts.
Okay.
There's 2 questions, actually, so I can do one or the other. The first one is, who lives here? What is an average person like in this place? What do they look like? What do they wear? Or describe the flora and fauna. What is the landscape like? What animals and plants call it home? I'm going to go with the first one. Who lives here? Basically, people who've exited from Earth, plus some alien species. What does an average person look like in this place? The power I have right now is so ridiculous. An average person...
3 apples high.
I was gonna do Roma tomatoes, but most people stand 10 Roma tomatoes tall, which is like 2 feet. No. I would say most people here are human because of the exodus from Earth. And what do they look like? I think a lot of people look pretty pallid, like pale. I mean, even if they are of a person of color, it just is like everybody's kind of jaundiced. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like there's not a lot of sunlight and vitamin D. I think I'm kind of summing that up. What do they wear? I think everybody wears basically these commissioned spacesuit jumpsuits that everybody has, but people over time have been like altering stuff and making their own kind of like looks. There's my answer.
Nice. Are you who was next?
You're next, Josh.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with the King of Diamonds. Who or what is in power here? Is it a ruler, an apex predator, a series of laws that govern society, or the weather? I think it is a series of laws that govern society. I think it's a marriage between, democracy and a military rule. Like everyone gets a vote that represents, you could say 50% of the council, right? Of the people that kind of dictate the laws and that govern a society, and then the other 50% is based on military, the military system that is in the colony.
Shogunate.
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
We've referred to this thing as a space colony.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it is a natural planet or moon, or is it a man-made?
It's man-made.
Okay.
It's man-made, but think like there can be, like, it looks like somebody just like scooped up Earth and put it in a capsule.
Or whatever configuration, yeah.
Right,
inside, it could, well, I guess through these questions you can dictate, maybe it doesn't, but a lot of traditional media we've consumed usually tries to dictate or depict.
Dick pic.
Yeah, that's depict it as, like Earth was this kind of organized inside here. It's like you could go from Earth to
like
here.
A Dyson sphere kind of.
Have you seen Interstellar, Dave?
Yeah.
You remember that weird like bubble place that they were in at the end when he met his daughter?
I mean, I kind of remember that and think that's horseshit. That doesn't make any sense. That's all I remember.
Well, that's where we live. That's where we live.
Okay.
What was your card?
Yes. Jack of Clubs. Appropriately, what was this place in the past and how long ago was that? So, yes, I think that this is kind of our colony is kind of a man-made asteroid or moon that has been kind of cobbled together from other material in space. Just out and out space junk. There's some small planetary, like asteroid type stuff and comets that have been pulled in and all kind of conglomerated together through gravity and everything. But it's obviously grown and become bigger, and now it sustains life. But it actually is probably fairly far from the nearest star. And so light is natural light is an issue. That's probably why everybody's so pale and pallid, because there's just not enough sunlight. And so most of the lighting is artificial.
Yeah.
I would think if you went out onto the surface of this and looked out, you would get kind of a moonlight type emission from the nearest star, and that's probably about it. And so, that obviously it was chosen for some significance other than that, because it would be kind of considered outside the habitable zone, as far as space explorers would be concerned. But there's probably another reason we'll figure out.
Yeah. I guess the other part was how long ago was that? I guess.
Yeah, I would guess that it is still an ongoing process of accreting, I guess, stuff. Old spaceships get kind of just like smushed into the probably on the backside. Let's say it has a fixed orbit. Stuff just gets kind of smushed into the back of it. And as it grows and Katamari's
exactly
itself,
that's why
bigger and bigger.
Yes.
And so with the size it is now, it's obviously been going on for quite a while.
Yeah.
We'll say 300 years.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay.
Since the project was first
yeah.
or maybe 300 years since the first settlers. There was a period of time where they were just trying to gather things to maintain gravity and sustain something.
Yeah. Get whatever systems or whatever in place.
Right.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Amber?
I'm divided on what I should choose right now. I think I have good ideas for both. I think I'm going to do this Queen of Diamonds first. So Queen of Diamonds asks, what is valued in this place? What is it known to have in excess? So what it's valued in this place, I think, is nutrients, like specifically stuff to keep us from having jaundice and scurvy. So vitamin C tablets and anything that is good nutrients for humanoid bodies is super valued here.
Especially like fresh fruits and vegetables, because those would be so resource intensive to grow.
Yeah.
To get a lemon would just be like, oh my God. You've had to grow this tree indoors and provide it with the right light and baby it along for years to get a lemon. So, oh my God, can you imagine how much a lemon would be?
Yeah, so that's what's valued. I don't think it's what's in excess, though.
Mm-hmm.
What is known to have an excess, I think, is whatever is being used to fuel this place, whatever that waste is. It's like there is not a good system for taking care of the waste here. I mean, they're jettisoning it out into space for the most part, but there's so much of it. I think that's what is just constantly being produced is waste stuff.
Great.
Whatever. It's what's in excess.
But probably not. I'm not even thinking organic waste.
No,
I'm like
it's
compost and shit. But like the byproducts of the refining of jet fuel.
Yes,
or whatever.
exactly.
Whatever,
so
yeah.
I'm being inspired by Snowpiercer, which I don't know if either of you have seen, but there's the train makes this stuff called chronol or something, and it's like highly explosive, and you can get high off of sniffing it.
Of course.
So I think there's just an excess of this kind of waste. Okay.
Can we get high on it?
Yes.
Good.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
All mine are
Boring.
No, this is more like this all feel
I didn't get the
impactful.
good ones.
No, I can't.
Mine feel impactful. Everything
Yeah.
feels impactful.
Yeah,
What do we have a lot of? Shit is what I just told us.
I guess I'll go with the Queen of Clubs next. What was the greatest moment in this place's history? An innovation, a discovery, a revolution, a new sapling, the emergence of a cycle of cicadas? I think one of the greatest moments was there was a peace treaty between the humanoids that, had started initially colonizing this asteroid, from wherever they came from. And there was a species of aliens that they made first contact with. And, in the long run, instead of going to war, they actually made peace. And so they're actually it's because of this colony, there is a really well-established relationship and of even commingling of whatever societies and all that kind of stuff between this alien race and the humans. I don't know what the alien race is or anything like that, but
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. The Queen of Spades. What is the greatest tragedy in this place's past?
Of course. When the aliens began to eat all the babies. Sorry.
When the babies began to eat
Eat
all the aliens.
Oh.
The babies were made out of teething biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Zerbits?
Yeah.
Those are those called?
Zooeyback? Josh, we defer to you. Teething biscuits?
You know what those are?
Oh,
The white ones that look like...
the sweetback or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the aliens are made out of.
It's like a cuttlefish.
they're like gingerbread men.
Yeah.
And the babies are just and they get all gummy and melty.
Oh,
No, that isn't that. None
nasty.
of that's
The little
right.
children's fingers covered and coated in the
An
alien.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Because that's what babies sound like.
Clean me.
Yeah.
Wash the blood from my hands, Mama.
Yes. I would. Oh gosh. I'm not gonna stomp on Josh. I mean, it's tempting. What's the greatest strategy when the aliens betrayed the pact? Boom. No. Because then the peace wouldn't be the greatest moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say that the greatest tragedy is before the peace pact, and that there's it was during that war when the aliens weaponized that waste that the colony produces, and probably weaponized it in that they just threw it back at us.
Mm-hmm.
They called it when the shit hit the fan.
Yes.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
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 Oh, is it my turn now?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Oh wait, I think I wait.
Oh, and
how is it remembered?
How is it remembered? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is probably remembered by. I think the people that suffered the chemical burns and mutations from that waste probably serve as a reminder of that tragedy, almost like Civil War veterans who lost their leg or something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh gosh, look at that poor guy. He lost his arm in the alien waste shit hitting fan.
The shitstorm.
The shitstorm. Yeah, it's not really shit though.
It's not.
No, it's like chemical byproducts.
Yeah, but shitstorm just
Better.
encapsulates it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chemical byproduct storm is not.
Yeah, not as catchy.
No.
My turn?
Your turn,
Okay.
Amber.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have lots of kings. I have a king of clubs. And that is, wait, nope, that's not one. It is Oh, yes. I thought I had King of Hearts, which is way cooler. Dang it.
I have the King and Queen of Hearts.
Dang it. I want the King of Hearts.
You want to trade?
Yeah, trade?
No.
Okay. I've been thinking nothing but the King of Hearts for like the last 2 minutes. Now I gotta switch it. Okay, King of Spades. If there are multiple people who live here, what are they divided on? What are their points of contention that are fought over? Yes, there are multiple people who live here. I would say there's lots of different factions that live on this space station. And I think the most things that cause contention that people are divided on is usually how resources are allocated. Who's using what, who is it going to, and why? So I think there is the shogunate who wants to keep using like the waste product for weaponry or whatever, but because of the bad past of like the shitstorm, people are like, no, we should be getting rid of it, or we should be using it to fuel other things that aren't necessarily the weapons or the mechs or whatever. And I think that is a big contention point, is how resources are being used. Specifically, why are we making military stuff when we should be focusing on the life here, quality of life here? Okay.
I'm going to do the Queen of Hearts. Who or what, a person, landmark, society, has been in this place the longest? How did they come to be here? Dave kind of already answered some of that. But,
expand!
Yeah, exactly. So definitely humans were here. Actually, is that true? Yeah, I will say humans. Yeah. Humans were here first, however, hundreds of years ago. How did they come to be here? They actually splintered off from another colony, because it's kind of like thinking of certain societies even today, or even like bees and other things, where it's like you get to a certain critical mass and you're like, all right, you gotta split off the colony, you gotta go, you gotta leave, you gotta go establish another one. And so that's why, and the reason why it's not so refined here either. It's just like, okay, well, the people that were however hundreds or thousands of years ago that originated from Earth had the quote unquote nicest colony or nicest colonies, but now it's just like, all right, we're different colonies that have fractured off, and that is pretty much by necessity to start their own colony, because the other one was at its maximum, right?
Yes. Right.
All right, your turn, Dave.
Yes, the Jack of Spades. What are the threats to this place? Are these threats to the materiality of the place or the people that live in it? Well, I think that this is a fairly fragile place. The colony itself is surviving, but it is not, like, anyone who would be assigned to live in this colony would not be happy about it. This isn't a happy life that these people live on this colony. So that is certainly a threat. But obviously there's the ongoing war that I assume will be part of this.
Probably. There's probably always war going on. Yeah.
There is, with whatever that other entity is, there is that military threat as well.
So it's a material threat just through war, pretty much.
It's both. I mean, it's like I say, it's a fragile place. It sucks here. You can't ever buy fucking lemons.
Yeah.
But also
gotta import those.
Yeah, but also, and they got to come from the Star Freighter, and that's like for fuck it ever.
Yeah.
And like lemons cost 47 quatlus a piece, and like fuck. But also you've got this alien force that like is either at war or threatening war, or this other faction, or like there are external force. There's internal threats, but external threats as well.
Okay, so all right, my last card, King of Clubs. If there are inhabitants, what are their visions for the future that they hold? Is it a long view or a short one?
I just want those lemons.
Some people live for the lemons.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people, I think most people here have a bleak outlook.
Wow.
They don't think, if things don't change soon, they're not going to survive much longer. No hope. And it's like a Antichrist Obama, the poster. Sorry.
Damn.
That's it.
Okay, I was just making sure.
That's all I got.
I got the King of Hearts, and there's too much pressure now. What stories are told in or about this place? Does it have legends or myths? Does it have a religion? So, yeah, stories about this place. So, I think this comes from other colonies or, space truckers or whatever.
Space truckers, yeah. Absolutely.
That I think some of the myths are like, the only reason why those humans are living is because there's secretly an alien ruler. It's one of the stories. Some legends and myths has also been like, I heard that the core of that asteroid has been mined because it's some volatile resource, right? That is really hard to mine, but it's super valuable. But they haven't got it because it blew up right in their face. They don't have the tools. Look at that place. And does it have a religion? Oh yeah.
My God, we live in the West Virginia of this world.
Yes, it's all tobacco.
Like the terrible mining that pollutes everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have secret aliens.
Everybody's
this
afraid
is Total
of aliens.
Recall. This is Mars. Sorry. Nobody's seen Total Recall. Nobody's seen Total Recall.
I mean, I know of it.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm feeling you.
It's okay.
My last one, and the last one for everybody, the Jack of Diamonds. What is this place named or called? Who named it, and for what reason?
Perfect last one.
Right?
Yeah. Shithole. Shit town.
West Virginia. No. These outposts these colonies are far flung, and they're probably strategically put in certain places to give whatever capitalist nightmare that we serve a foothold. Those are called Javelin Outposts. This one is Javelin Outpost Sigma. And because it has been established and it is actually like a surviving colony, it is Javelin Outpost Sigma Home. Josh, for short.
Oh. That actually falls well into Brother John called one of the colonies Bob.
Mm-hmm,
and it was we never figured out the acronym, but okay. Excellent.
He took that from a movie too.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
God.
Nice when we don't know each other's media at
Mm-hmm.
all. Like, that's a cool idea. I never heard it before.
And I'm like, I watch so many movies and shit. It's ridiculous. That's all I do.
I know.
Welcome to Eberron.
A land we fought so desperately for, now a land torn and scarred by war.
Where our paths can never leave us, but we forge a new path.
Where opportunities are everywhere, for those with the guile to take them.
Where we find a new family while hunting down monsters.
This is the Morning Blues, a D&D 5e actual play game released every other Thursday on Beholder to No One. Join our DM Adam as he runs Virik, Jody, Rem, and Mika through their bounties and exploration.
All right, on to the main gameplay. During our 4 cycles of gameplay, players draw cards from the numerical pile. Each type of card is associated with a set of questions which are answered in order. For example, the first time the player draws an ace of a suit, they would answer the first question listed under the ace, or the aces, which is first, what are the plants like in our place, the rocks, the soil? The second time an ace is drawn, the player would answer the second question. It is time to plant the seedlings, in quotes. What are the seedlings and where are they planted? What is the harvest that is hoped for, and so forth. Read the questions out loud, narrate your answers to the group, and then discard the card in the discard pile. The group may ask follow-up or clarifying questions, but may not contradict what you have expressly said. The player may also discard the card before addressing the question and enter a focus situation, choosing to tell a story, throw a party, discover something, see an omen, leave the frame, or move on, skipping this turn. This focus situation allows us to skip certain questions instead, spending more time on a single moment. Choosing to enter a focus situation a focus situation still counts as the nth instance of the card. You may enter the same focus situation multiple times. The specific rules of the situations are detailed in the later section.
So basically, if you draw a card and you don't
Don't want
like
it.
the question,
there's
you can
options,
do something different.
Yeah.
And
Right,
there's
right.
rules for each one of
Yeah.
those things.
Yes.
Yep.
Throwing a party's fun. It's kind of like a round table, like town hall and quiet year.
Yeah, exactly. But we can say more than one thing compared to the quiet year.
Yeah.
If the drawn card is a 10, the cycle ends, moving us forward in time. And that's about it.
Cool.
I guess after every cycle, when a player draws a 10 of a suite, time advances. The player rolls the 6-sided die, and this number plus the unit of time decided at the beginning of the game is the length of our gap. For example, if we roll 3, it's 30 years.
Yeah.
That's fine. You may choose to go forward or backward in time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
We can go back. I'll do what I want.
Sure. After rolling the die, talk about something else. Grab a set. So they pretty much said take a break between each thing. When the table reconvenes, you will collectively answer the following questions, optionally taking short notes. The players may each answer one question in a circle or all chime in on each one. Remember, try not to contradict other players' assertions, but rather work your own ideas into the fabric of what they said. So these questions are, do our characters/civilization still live here? If not, who lives here now? Does anyone? What does the place physically look like now? Has anything visually changed? How does it smell now? How does it feel here? Does the place still use the same name? If not, what is it called now, and who calls it that? After answering these questions, resume the normal pattern of gameplay. And there's any game, but we can do it later. All right.
I'm ready.
Amber goes first.
Draw me a card, Josh. Or
No.
Dave.
Dave.
One off the top.
Yep.
Pow!
It's a 10 right away.
The end.
The
Game
end.
over. World built.
You may, tens. Oh, there's a lot interesting.
Yeah,
you
tens get interesting.
You may pick freely between the following questions, but do not pick the same one twice.
Okay, so tens. I can pick freely between the following questions, but do not pick the same one twice. The gardens are planted, the work has been done, and now we wait. What was planted, and what are we waiting for? Or, there is a great victory that enables the inhabitants of our place to build towards a new future. What is this future they wish for? How will they set to work on it? There was a great loss, one that sets new burdens on the inhabitants of our place. How do they cope, and what have they lost forever? Someone important, socially, political, or emotionally, in our place dies. Who were they, and how were they killed? How are they remembered after? It is a resting day, in anticipation of problems just across the horizon. What is believed to be coming, and how do the inhabitants of our place set these problems aside for just one day? It is a resting day, in the knowledge of a secure future. What is taken as a given, and how do the inhabitants of our place spend a lazy day? Wow, since nothing happened, it's time to rest. No, I think someone important socially, political, or emotionally in our place dies. Who were they, and how are they killed? How are they remembered after? So, in this time period, I think someone emotionally tied to this place dies. I think they were maybe, I want to say it's the founder of basically a social help group, essentially. So like the lead social worker of this colony has died. Who were they? God, what are some names? I would gladly take some name input for somebody.
Rosewood, right?
No, I don't want it to be a Rosewood.
But you said it was like the...
It was like the lead social worker, essentially.
yeah.
Peacecraft.
Oh, my boy. Oh, my boy. I don't know why I said that. Oh, my God. I wanted to say, oh, boy, or oh, my God. And it came out, oh, my boy.
Oh, my boy.
Jenna Nordstrom.
Jenna Nordstrom.
Jenna Nostromo.
Dixon, Harrington, Coombs.
Jenna Coombs.
It was COOMBES. I was like, what?
Coombs.
Combs?
Combs. There we go.
Combs.
I like Coombs.
I mean, to Josh's credit, COO is what pigeons do,
Ooh.
which is coo.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Hagen, Watson, Forrest, Kirkland. Forrest?
Jetta Forrest.
I've got Jenna Coombs.
Jenna
Coom.
Forrest. All right.
Dies from malnutrition. And now it's become a huge deal about how poor the food situation and nutrient situation is on this. So they are using her death as a instigator of sorts, like a cause.
Man, I almost thought you were going to say they were using her body to grow mushrooms. I was like, damn.
Eat Jenna.
All right, so now we get to go answer those questions I just read to. This is weird.
Well, the first card, shuffle these cards better.
Yep, first 4 cards are 10s, we're out.
Yeah.
We're home by 9.
Hell yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Do our character civilizations still live here?
Yes.
What does this place physically look like now?
Pretty much the
The
same
same.
with Jenna's laying there.
Does the place still use the same name?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Except there's push to change it to Jenna.
Jenna.
Output.
Uh-huh.
All right. Someone roll that D6 and see how many years
Jesus.
put it by.
Go right ahead.
Dave, or Josh, go ahead and roll.
1
10 years.
decade.
10 years after Jenna's death.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, no, 2.
God, that would have been great.
That would be fucking hilarious. First one. Name a monument, marker, statue, or other physicalized memory that exists in our place. What does it mark? It is the first official greenhouse.
Uh-huh.
They are giving it a real go, you could say, of trying to make this thing. And it's named after Jenna Forrest. They call it the Forest.
Perfect.
I don't know how good, but that's what they're trying.
It's important.
Yeah.
Everybody's behind it.
Yeah.
They're growing salad greens and whatnot.
Oh, spinach.
3.
The first 3.
What do people listen to and perform here? What is considered the folk art?
Oh, yes. Please have fun.
Yeah, I think that there are, as far as music, it is, we're still in the future. It isn't like people are like banging on animal skins or anything, but the availability of new music is hard to get because it's out there. So there's a lot of remixes, right? Because people have the ability to edit music and recut it to do different things, but generating new music is difficult. And so there's a lot of mashups and remixes, and that's kind of the cultural music here on Josh. As far as folk art, there is, there are scavengers that go and find little interesting bits of some of the accreted material on the outpost. And there are, sometimes it's a little interesting, like an insignia from a space, like a ship, or a semi-precious gem that was, from one of the asteroids or comets that came in. And they find these and make them into pendants and brooches and hairpins and things like that. That's considered fairly high fashion.
Oh, I thought that was a 10. I was ready to cry. Okay, it's the first 8. 8. The first one. What does success look like in our place? What do the inhabitants want? Success is subjective, but I think if you can get into the military, it's seen as, yes, you can get the resources. You'll end up being taken more care of if you get into to be a pilot, especially a pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Because pilots are treated basically like princes and kings and queens and stuff like that. So,
do you think part of it is because of how much resources a mech takes?
Yes, and how much it. So basically, even to pilot that mech, you have to be in pretty good physical condition. So you get taken care of really well. So there's a lot of resentment towards that, but also I also want to be that. What if I could be that? Okay, cool.
Nice.
Because those mechs take so many resources, you don't want your pilot blacking out from rickets or whatever the hell.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, got a 9. First 9?
Yep.
First 9. What do people eat and drink here?
Well, it's not lemons.
What is
lemonade, baby.
What is considered traditional? I think because of that greenhouse. There is some greens, but before that greenhouse, a decade prior,
Just
it was
blue milk.
It was
Just
just blue
everything.
milk. Yeah, that's right. No,
God,
Gosh.
milk and space seals.
It was. I think, though, in general, very bland looking food. It was just very monochromatic or just tan
Paste.
Just-
like
shit, yeah.
like the Matrix.
Yeah, kind of like
Kind
the
of,
Matrix.
yeah. That's how I would
Yay,
say
a
it.
movie everybody's seen.
But now there is some color to it. Now there is some roughage. There is some garnishing.
It's like paste on a bed of lettuce.
Exactly.
It's pate.
It's
Yes.
pate, exactly. So it is. They try to make it as fancy as possible, but for most people, it is this paste of some sort.
I could totally see like a lot of like subterranean insects, worms, and grubs.
That's
and
true.
things, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yes.
they just grind them up because they're gross. but,
Right.
like,
Ooh,
Yes.
Snowpiercer reference
Exactly.
without it being a Snowpiercer reference.
Yes, definitely that kind. And there is imported food, right?
Right,
There
sure.
there is
Yeah.
truckers that come in. So,
space truckers.
Yeah,
So-
Josh is introducing. Well, he already mentioned it.
I
you
did.
mention
I
it?
already mentioned space truckers.
okay.
I said freighter ship, so
okay.
like
Yeah, so a space trucker in my mind is someone doing the piloting the freighter.
it's basically a trucker in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the snapback hat and the whole.
Ooh,
the-
you're setting
and-
up for some very good situations with.
I
like,
quit the team. I'm a
smuggling.
space trucker, y'all.
Ooh, that's the other thing people find success.
Yeah, because you get
Space
out.
trucking.
Yeah.
So there is other traditional food, right? But you probably have to be a pilot or well-to-do, or it's a special
Holidays,
holiday.
yeah.
So the other one was what is considered traditional. So I think along those lines there is a holiday that happens, and that is when there is actually what we today out of game there we think of very fancy or holiday food. They have like some kind of derivative of that, right? Thousands of years, there's different interpretations, but there is at least one holiday where everyone gets a very nice meal.
Space nut pie.
Space nut pie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could totally see like maybe not now, but in the future, like they figure out how to like keep chickens alive or whatever, and like eggs are a possibility
Right.
now, or shit like that.
Right.
But like, yeah, where we're at, it's like worm paste.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you there's nicer colonies than ours.
Oh, there totally is.
God, yes.
Yeah, there's way
Yeah,
nicer
no, we
colonies.
got boned by like in this fucking junk ass space colony with no light.
Yeah.
and we set it up for
Yeah, I know.
ourselves.
No, man, I like grit. Grit's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I like it
I
too.
don't want a shiny like everybody's wearing silver and all that bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
All right, that was
All
Josh.
right, yep.
Was that Josh?
Yep.
Yeah, that was Josh. Number 6. That's our first number 6 on the big board. What is the most horrible thing in or about our place? Yes. I would to introduce a new threat because
Sure,
what's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm doing here. I would say it is the mind-altering bacteria that was discovered on probably the backside of the planet,
Mhm.
our colony. That one of the scavengers might have brought back, and it's a problem, but it's not like a catastrophic problem. Maybe right
Right.
now.
Maybe we have some biological technology. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're too out in the Hicks. To
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, give me a card. Oh my god, it's another 10!
Oh my god.
That means that we'll have like.
we're gonna have some really long time. in
Yeah.
this time. Yeah.
All right,
So
I'm going back.
Maybe the next 2 cards are 10s.
Okay, I'll figure out this.
So you get to pick another question, Amber.
Yep, I do. The gardens are planted, the work has been done, and now we wait. What was planted and what are we waiting for? So in my mind, there's been a focus heavy on expanding the greenhouse stuff, especially with this new bad gut bacteria or
It's bad brain, but whatever.
Mind altering.
mind altering?
It is mine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be mine.
Okay. I mean, maybe it starts in the gut and
That's
just
right.
it to your brain.
Yeah.
I think people are still pinning it on that. I think homeopathy is becoming a thing. So that they are growing a bunch of different herbs and a bunch of different. They're trying to find a cure via whatever it is that they're growing. You know.
Like if they can grow the right tree or root vegetable or whatever.
Even mushroom,
Yeah.
or lemons has definitely been a thing that's been on people's minds a lot, and citrus fruits. So we're waiting for an answer.
Hoping for a big bounty, right?
Yes.
All right, how many years? Oh, 60
years.
Shit.
There's questions to answer, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Do our characters / civilization still live here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still a civilization.
What does the place physically look like now?
I think there's a lot of greenhouses.
I think it's built up.
Yeah,
I think it's like there's more problems, but at least that those greenhouses and maybe even to the point of terraforming is
I think actual groves are being planted now.
maybe big reflective parabolas that would focus that light into those. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yep.
Nice. Does the place still use the same name?
Yeah.
It's always going to be Josh. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Joshua.
Fresh for Joshua.
No.
Fresh for Joshua.
Rush.
Fresh for Joshua.
4. First 4?
Yes, first 4.
What is the primary building or natural material of our place?
Like how we're building our shacks out of?
I think it is the primary material is probably some of the I don't know how big this asteroid is or whatever, but Davis mentioned scavenging. I think the primary material is still like metals. Like they get some from the asteroid. They definitely import some from the truckers and whatever they can scavenge.
Yeah.
But I think that's a primary or natural. Oh, natural material. Excuse me.
It says primary or natural.
What is your primary building or natural material? Okay, building. Okay, yeah. So metal's still fine. Yeah. So
like I could totally see these like buildings made out of like panels from old mechs and like ships and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still just it's a lot of metal.
It's like how like early colonists and things in America or Vikings would like pull their ships apart to make buildings.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. All right.
2. Is that the second 2? Yeah, you've got 2.
Second 2.
Okay, so number 2, second 2. What is produced in our place right now, and how does it make its way into the wider world? Is this export a physical good, knowledge, or something else? Ooh, that's really good. That's a good question. Because we've not talked about this really in those terms very much, but we have talked about like refining something and it being a very wasteful, like toxic process. And I would think that so I get to decide what that is. I think that there is, again, this thing is just kind of this outpost is cobbled together with space shit essentially. There's probably even the gravity works and it's probably it's big enough to have a core at this point. There's still a lot of open pockets in this thing. And I think within those pockets, it's been discovered that there are crystals growing. Those crystals themselves are valuable, but really it is the refinery that distills them down into... I don't want to break the game by introducing a weird thing here, Josh. So, like, put the brakes on me if I do that.
Keep on.
But I would say a more concentrated power source for mechs.
Oh, that's good. So it's a more concentrated power source?
Yeah, because I guess the scientist theory is that the old mechs and ships and things that are part of the makeup of this are probably leaking out their fuel under the pressures of gravity and whatnot. When it hits those pockets, the atmosphere and the darkness, well, not the darkness, but let's say the atmosphere of this place, precipitates out these crystals, which are essentially like solid fuel, which is really cool. But you can actually like distill them down and remove more impurities from that fuel than have ever been able to be done before. It's a super valuable export, but it's dirty as shit. And we're trying to accrue more material, but at the same time, we're exporting out all this waste, the waste products of that refinery.
Awesome.
Amber, you ready for your next 10?
Yep. It's an ace.
Woo! It's our first ace.
Woohoo! What are the plants like in our place? The rocks, the soil. So I think when the colony obviously came from Earth, I think people were smart enough to bring at least seeds and things. So I think there's a lot of natural things that we're used to as humans. You'll see, I don't know, carrot, some grass,
sure,
a dandelion or two. I'm thinking because now where we're at, it's starting to look more like what we imagine a habitable, like a prairie-ish. Like things are actually starting to grow. Like seeds are growing, grass is growing around places. People seem to have trees and potted plants here and there. The soil it's a weird mix. It's dirt from. I mean, what does dirt come from anyway, right? Like,
I mean, it's like rotted, like it's compost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So all of the bits and pieces of other things and food waste and all that, like
it starts to make dirt. So a lot of that is there was some dirt brought from Earth,
absolutely.
But then basically, as we've been collecting stuff from others, so there's asteroid detritus.
Yeah, because they have. I mean, they have dust, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like. Dusty, rocky
so
stuff.
it's starting to actually become like this really mineral rich dark soil, so it looks like wet soil even though it's not wet.
That's cool.
The rocks, the space rocks.
Yeah, of course. Cool. So yeah, over 60 years they're making really good progress.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Boom. Yes.
A 10. Wow.
That just means his last one's just going to go forever.
Maybe. It could be the next straight one.
It could be the next card. Oh, you know?
He put it probably from second from bottom or something.
So now I need to answer a question. So I'm going to pick there is a great victory that enables inhabitants in our place to build towards a new future. What is this future they wish for? How will they set to work on it? Do I even have to say what the victory is? No. Maybe? No.
You can if you want to.
So the victory is either through force or trade. It's up to interpretation. They have finally gotten the technology to properly FTL, because up until now...
Fuck this life?
What?
Fuck this life?
Fuck this life.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
Cool. Yep.
To properly
FTL.
To properly FTL. However, just because they have this technology doesn't mean it's installed properly, because if they did this, they just rip the whole thing apart, right? So there is, I think, at least the military side and probably some of the civilian. I don't know. I can see it from either way, depending on how you spin it. What they're wishing for is to actually be able to go into a proper solar system, right?
Like the whole colony move?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the whole colony moves now, but it's not fast. It's not as easy to guide. That's what I'm guessing, right? And it's like, okay, we can FTL is to somewhere that would be easier to get sun
and
or
lemons.
Because the truckers FTL
go to the lemon system and like just fucking boom.
But then lemons aren't that special.
Right.
Well, you got a lot of lemons.
I know.
Who gives a shit? Now you
Be
want
like,
plums.
God, I wish I had those hallucinogenic bacteria back.
They call it Jenny.
Oh my God. And I guess
or Jenna. What was the name?
Jenna E.
Jenna E. It's like Jenna E. coli.
Then how will they work toward it? So they know how to do it, but now they have to still like figure out how to install it, how not to rip our colony apart.
Right, because again, it's not super steady.
Yeah.
Like it's just like held together with gravity, essentially.
Right. So they know, they have the knowledge, and now they have to figure out the means to actually make this happen.
Great. Now we have to ask those questions.
Now we have to roll that die.
30
years.
All right.
That's a full 100 years since Inception.
Wow. Do our characters' civilization still live here?
Yes.
Yes. It's still named Josh.
What does the place physically look like now? Has anything visually changed? How does it smell now? How does it feel here? I think there's a lot of changes now.
Yeah.
It smells
better.
Way better.
Way better.
Yeah. I could totally see all of these, like, even crystal-powered lights.
Ooh.
Like, maybe even glowy, like kind of a bluish, greenish, like glow that's growing all of these orchards and prairies and these things. And yeah, I mean, with prairies, you could get grazing animals like cows.
Ooh, we did the trade.
Milk.
We got
like
there.
Actual fucking white milk, you guys.
Gosh, I still don't like it.
No, upsets my tum-tum. I've
never seen a cow.
I've been here for 100 years. I'm lactose intolerant now.
Yeah, for real. It's not paste. It doesn't. My body rejects it.
If it's not paste, it's waste.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh man, the first time somebody eats a steak, it's a pilot.
Oh yeah.
It's nobody gets some steaks except
And
for
they-
on
and
the
they-
on the holiday.
Like big hamburger, like big.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, we have McDonald's now, guys.
It is a capitalist nightmare.
Oh,
It is,
oh,
yeah.
well, actually, yeah. I think we see storefronts. I think you actually see like
yeah.
restaurants and clothing shops with the
Yeah, I totally
accessories.
picture Taco Bell was maybe White Castle was the first like chain.
Yeah.
Because they could use the paste meat and like it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, put some spices in there. It's fine.
I think another thing is this
clubs.
Yeah, visually it's like there is not as much patchwork. I think a lot of it's been encapsulated.
Right.
So it's like there's this weird transition of like, all right, here's the original core, and now it's transitioned out to more unified structure, you could say.
And like the newer stuff doesn't have that ramshackle like built from pieces of ships and stuff. That would be considered like those like historic district.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. As I say, there's got to be a place where it still looks like the original.
Old Joshtown.
Yeah, old Joshtown.
Is that enough?
Yeah, I think so.
That's really
all
good.
right. Does the place still use the same name?
Yes.
All right. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Fine.
And then we'll play through like 30 cards or something, maybe. We'll see.
You seem very confident about that.
I don't know. It's more like there's a lot of deck left.
Why don't you go pee and I'll reshuffle the deck.
Okay. All right. See you all later. Thank you for listening. Join us again in 2 weeks for the second half of The Ground itself. In the meantime, check out some of the other great shows on our network at Geekspective.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, give us a follow on Twitter at Tails_Mauxferry or Geekspective. You can also give me a follow at EvilDMJosh. Finally, if you like what you heard, give us a review on your podcast player of choice and support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Geekspective if you feel so inclined. And with that, this is Josh Long signing out.